War is just the beginning.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Eternal Midnight. I'm here with James, Logan. Me and Logan saw Captain Marvel over the weekend. James just got out of it within the past few hours. We're all going to give our thoughts. And James, we're starting with you. Go ahead, man.
I fucking loved it. It was so fun. Like, there's some glaring problems with the story and the movie itself. So I'd probably give it a lower ranking. But I mean, it's one of the most enjoyable MCU movies I've seen in a while. I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp was probably the most fun MCU movie I've seen. But after Ragnarok, Black Panther, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I'm just really happy to have an MCU movie where the comedy made me laugh again.
I will give you that for sure. The comedy in this was it did feel natural.
Yeah.
There was nothing in this movie, at least to me, that felt like a forced eye roll.
Oh, there was a few moments.
I don't know, man.
Like
not to me.
We should say there's going to be spoilers. That should be right off the bat. But there's a point where Talos is drinking a smoothie. I didn't laugh. I just sort of went. I mean, he was just a meta parody of the Phase 2 villains, so I've got to give them props because I love meta humor. Meta humor Scream is my number one movie for that reason. So when I saw Talos was like the parody of everything wrong with Phase 2 villains, it makes me appreciate the smoothie scene, but at the same time, my eyes were in the back of my head. What made me laugh more was his scientist that had the kid kidnapped and he just sort of shrugged his shoulders. That got me every time. I loved that guy. Did he have a single line of dialogue? Honestly, the Skrull were brilliant.
I think he said maybe one or two things, but not enough to really view him as he was more of a prop than a character.
You could have cast John Krasinski with those brilliant facial expressions. Like, holy
please
shit.
Don't waste him in a role like that. Save him for Mr. Fantastic, please.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I think the movie was... I gave it a 7.5, personally. That might drop on further rewatches after the whole, wow, I'm shocked because I thought it would be shit goes away. But, I mean, I did really enjoy it, so there is that. I mean, I jumped ship so many times, like, oh, I'm gonna hate it, oh, I'm gonna love it, oh, I'm gonna hate it. That happens so many times. I mean, before I watched the movie, I watched the trailers, and I was like, oh, I really hope I don't like this, because I don't like what they've done to Marvel. I don't want to like it. But then I saw the movie, and I was like, I don't care anymore. I want more Carol Danvers. Marvel, fuck it, who cares? Who's Marvel? I want more Carol. Like, I think... Yeah, it's a shame that Marvel was an old fucking woman, but like, it made sense the way they did it. Like, she made sense as a character, and there's so many Elseworld kind of things in Ultimate, which I looked at and went, oh, okay, cool. So I can do the same here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when we first discussed it. I was like, Marvel does this already with so many of their characters that the change they did to Marvel, to me, the character really doesn't mean that much to me as he might to some others. So it's almost right. So it's like someone who does care about the character, I can see it bothering you, but to me, Marvel was no Mandarin. He was no giant big bad villain, somebody's arch nemesis.
I want to say, when Iron Man 3 came out, I was a kid who had read like one comic maybe, so to me that was just, oh, I'm loving this is really fun. And the Mandarin twist didn't piss me off, but hearing about Marvel, that was the first time where, like, other than the Planet Hulk story, where I got hit by this whole, fucking hell, they've changed it so much and just ripped it apart. But it's like Carol Danvers in the Ultimate Universe is the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a bit, so honestly, like, if I can forgive that, it's whatever. I mean, they change things all the time in the comics. Why can't they in the movies, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's not even, like, it could be anybody.
It could. That's true.
Why was it, like, when he was like, oh, her Kree name was Marvel, I just sat there and I was like,
Yeah,
I thought the same thing. I literally was just like, no.
See, to me, what that says.
It was almost like Beta Ray Bill. It was almost like Beta Ray Bill's head in Ragnarok. I was just like, no, you wasted
that
out.
doesn't mean that we can't get him. It's not like Beta Ray Bill.
I personally don't think we are, but
Feige, Feige
says a lot of things.
Yeah,
Feige says a lot of things, but he said Beta Ray Bill was coming before he lost his marble. So
James, what did Feige say about Captain Marvel's sales again for the comics?
Oh, I know, but I mean, to me, what that line was saying, "I'm Marvel," that to me meant we have no interest in pursuing the Marvel story, and I don't think it would make sense if they delve into Captain Marvel and Marvel's the one that comes second anyway. So to me, it's the same.
It's almost to me the same as Scott Lang and Hank Pym and Ant-Man. They decided we're going with Scott, so it's like Hank's story still exists, but we're not going to see it. So
that's what it is.
Either accept it or don't. But one way or the other, it's like you're probably not getting it. So
would you
I've just accepted it.
Would you want Marvel as a successor after Captain Marvel though? Because to me that would be more insulting.
No, I'd rather him or her just not be in it.
I get that, but then Marvel's still such an important part of her mythos that having a character there
they changed it so drastically anyways that to me I'm just like, you know what, it's fine because I never have read a single Captain Marvel or Marvel comic anyway. So to me, it doesn't bother me that much. So it is what it is.
As someone who does love it though, it's like, oh, we're probably never going to have it anyway. And that's how I felt. So it was like, oh, it's just an Easter egg to sort of say, yeah, I mean, we're not going to get it, but there's elements of it. And that's the best we're going to get because they're not planning on telling his story. And if that's that, so be it. There's more obscure characters I'd rather see anyway. I mean, we haven't had Captain Britain yet, so whatever. As long as we get him, Marvel can go fuck himself, so it's fine.
Well, I heard a really cool thing.
Logan, let's see. Let's dive into your thoughts now.
Oh my!
What's your rating and your thoughts?
Well, I gave it a 6 because it was a lot better than I went in thinking it was going to be like
a 2.
Really? Well, not a 2, but I was from all the marketing and from some of the things, I was really worried that they were gonna push her too much just because she's a woman and
I still got girl power vibes, which I loved.
Well, they did obviously, but it's it wasn't enough where I was it was okay, well, whatever, it's there.
It balanced it. I thought it's like I was saying to you, James, earlier. It's it definitely felt like a girls' superhero movie, which is fine because it felt different than the rest of it. Still felt like a stereotypical MCU movie, but almost like a stereotypical girls MCU movie, which was fine because it was cool, so it was different, which I enjoyed.
It followed the formula to a T, but it didn't feel like an MCU movie at all to me. It was so weird because it had a witty protagonist who went through a journey and then it had a happy ending. That's the sort of formula they stick by in all their movies. And yet in this, even though they followed that, it didn't feel like your average Marvel movie, which was kind of nice, but I don't know how they did it. I'd have to watch it again and pay more. Look close.
Because they followed the 90s tropes. It did kind of I was getting flashbacks to 90s action movies.
Yeah, that is
polished it almost felt like a polished up 90s action movie.
Yeah, it was. I loved it. I mean, I loved the Men in Black sort of feel I got from Agent Fury. And you can't call him Nick apparently. I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, jeez.
I read that was I think, doesn't he refers to himself as Nick when he introduces himself to Iron Man though, right?
Oh, fuck. He broke his rule.
Listen, let's not get into the retcons just yet, but they've got
a lot.
Yeah.
There's enough that made me, I'll tell you right now, the things at the end, I really enjoyed the movie up until the third act. It's just like Black Panther. I didn't really care for Black Panther's third act because it was just some garbage CGI fight. But I would rather watch that than watch the third act because I feel like the action in this movie is the worst part of it. Like,
the action's terrible, but I think the third act to me was so fun because it reminded me of when Thor gets Mjolnir back in the 2011 movie and he just fucks the destroyer and becomes a hero. It had that same feeling to me.
Yeah, but but the
and she was a bumbling idiot.
There were
like
no stakes in this movie at all, though.
No,
like I feel like once she powered up, it was like.
But did there need to be? We've seen the stakes thing happen every other movie, so I think just to have someone that's so powerful that they fall over, like to me that was holy shit.
I don't know, man. I feel like people are gonna complain about Superman being too powerful, like I'm not gonna give.
Yeah,
Carol
but they only complained about Superman being too powerful in Man of Steel because that was not an MCU film.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I'm sorry. I hate to sound like a DC fanboy, but that's literally the reason why. Oh, he's too strong, too much destruction. Oh yeah, but the destruction in Avengers was fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think we've seen the stakes happen over and over again, like where their power is controlled and they're sort of presented with something stronger. So to have her just go all out was so fun because she doesn't even know the own restraints of her power yet, which is kind of interesting.
I don't know. I'm the complete opposite, and I feel like that's one of the most boring things you could do in a story.
I think it is,
but
in an isolated environment where it's just her, then yeah. But I think in the grander scheme of the MCU, I think it's all right.
I don't know, man. It's just I was sitting there going like, even Ronan. Oh, Ronan.
Him turning
they
around.
barely did anything with him. No. It's not fair.
Him turning around is just
I like Ronan. I really did like Ronan in Guardians, and I thought I was going to get to see him more, and I didn't.
My favorite line in the entire movie is when he's like, well, we're going to come back for the weapon, and then his buddy goes, the cube, and he looks and he goes, the woman.
I just love that they know.
And he never comes back, obviously, because
dead.
That's what I mean. It's like, why did you include that line? I mean, like we said, we're discussing mild spoilers, but it's like the movie ends with her leaving Earth, and presumably she doesn't go back until Endgame or something like that. So it's like, why did they include that weird throwaway line if it was obviously never going to be followed through with?
Either way, I think he abandoned the accusers for Thanos, so it doesn't really matter. I think
he had his big, because he kind of like bailed because they did that treaty with the Xandarians, right? And he's like, "Oh, my people."
Yeah, because that was the first time he donned the black suit and the makeup. I'm gonna roll with at the beginning of Guardians because. Yeah. Honestly, I think Lee Pace looks way cooler in Guardians than he did in this.
It's the makeup. It's that black makeup around his eyes. Mm-hmm. That really I feel like it really it adds to that cool factor because without it, he just kind of looks like Lee Pace with blue face. Yeah. It's not. I like seeing his green outfit, but I feel like it's such a shame. They could I would have almost rather no Ronan.
Yeah,
and have Ronan be built up as this big force, and then he's just one of his big ship his ship gets destroyed. He just looks and he's like, "We're leaving."
See, I think the marketing is more to blame because I think the way they handled him in the movie wasn't bad.
It showed him a decent amount in the trailers also.
That's the problem. It was the marketing as if to say, "Oh, Ronan is a big player here. You're going to see more of him." I think if we went in not expecting him and had little moments where we're like, oh, we get to see a little bit more of his history intertwined.
Yeah, that would have been way better.
Yeah, that's more marketing to me. I think if you look at the movie just as the movie, I mean, it's just a nice expansion on his story.
Yeah, definitely. It was fine. It's just probably the same thing. I still probably, even if I hadn't known he was in it, I probably would have been like, oh, I wanted more of him. Because I said, I enjoyed Ronan as a character. He literally in Guardian, off on a quick tangent, he was just the straight man of Guardians of the Galaxy. That's why I liked him, because it was he was the one who was I don't get all these stupid jokes. I'm completely serious. So it's that was what I enjoyed about him. But I mean, it was whatever. He wasn't really even a villain in the movie. He was just the pilot of a bomber ship. So
yeah, I liked it though because we got to see what he was doing in the 90s, which I mean, it's such a minor thing, but it just makes him so much more of a character. I think watching back Guardians is going to be more interesting because I'll know where it's coming from, and that's a huge thing I loved about Coulson, and I wish we'd gotten more of him. That's who I was left wanting more of.
Yeah, he was barely in the movie,
but still, it's one of the few characters that's went to TV and come back, so I'll take it for now.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And I think just seeing S.H.I.E.L.D. come back is going to be nice, because Maria Hill's going to make the same... Well, she already did with Infinity War, but she's going to do that again in Far From Home. So I think Captain Marvel was the first step in bringing S.H.I.E.L.D. back to the big screen, which is quite interesting.
Okay, I can see.
On the subject of S.H.I.E.L.D., isn't it being called S.H.I.E.L.D. a plot hole?
Is it? Because it was called S.H.I.E.L.D. back in the 1940s, so I don't know.
And Iron Man... they didn't come up with S.H.I.E.L.D. till the second time Coulson spoke to Pepper.
Was that not just Coulson making a
strategic homeland, you know?
Was that not just something he did over time though?
I was gonna say, didn't they just do that in Iron Man though, to not give away that they were S.H.I.E.L.D. already?
No, but then I think he came back and he specified that they shortened it to S.H.I.E.L.D. So
is that not just a joke? Like, is that not just because
I viewed that as just?
Well, I didn't think it as a joke because I didn't think it was funny.
Yeah, but didn't they call it? S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter?
Yeah.
Then everything is a retcon. Okay, and it goes farther than Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's always a problem with prequels, though.
Yeah,
especially when you get this big, especially when you have such a large cinematic universe. It's like sometimes
especially when you're 21 movies deep. I mean, you're bound to fuck up eventually.
Well, they're not benevolent like people seem to think Feige is. He hasn't planned every meticulous detail 20 years in advance. He's got a rough structure and he's throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. Yeah, I think Captain Marvel, as far as prequels go, it wasn't as destructive as I thought it was going to be. Because I think a lot of people were upset that you came up with the Avengers thing because of Captain Marvel. I thought that was a nice tie-in. Like,
it was fine. It didn't bother me. I mean, that was one of those. I'm like, okay, cool little Easter egg. Who cares?
Yeah. It was a nice way to tie it all back in. But the thing that gets me is Captain America, the first Avenger. Like, is he the first? Is he though? Because Captain Marvel's the first one referred to as an Avenger.
He worked with S.H.I.E.L.D.
True. Fuck.
Okay, here's okay. I'll give my rating real quick. I originally started as a 6. I'm after just discussing it with you guys, talking about it, I'm honest. I'm going up to a 7. I'll give it a solid 7.
I mean, you're leaning more towards me than Logan now.
I am, because it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I think what happened was, like I said, I went in with expectations a little higher than I probably should have. Yeah. But it's been a while since I've gone into an MCU film with high expectations. So it's I mean, the last one I went into with like these high of expectations, honestly, was Doctor Strange.
Those expectations for me. I just wanted visual spectacle. Captain Marvel, I went in wanting Fury to be fun, and I got that.
The only question I have is I'm gonna read a couple of reviews in a little bit, just that I've seen when we move on to that. But just in some reviews I've seen, this is something I want to get you guys' thoughts on real quick. Is what's up with people who are saying the cat stole the movie?
No, definitely not.
I have no clue how. I have no clue.
Not in any way, shape, or form. I mean, if you thought the cat stole the movie, I don't know if were you even paying attention to the rest of the movie.
The cat was barely in.
He definitely didn't. Carol stole the movie.
Also, it's not a fucking cat; it's a fucking get your fucked.
Exactly. I'm not gonna. That did crack me up when Talos is like, "Get that thing away from me."
That was funny.
What? It's a cat. No, it's not. It's a flurkin. The hell's a flurkin?
I feel like a lot of people who like don't know about like the cat's origins, they probably be like, "Oh my god, it's like a really powerful alien or whatever," and then like that's really cool. To me, it's like, "Oh, it's not Chewie." Okay, like.
See, I don't care enough about Captain Marvel's comics or characters anyway. It's like, they changed the name probably because they didn't want people to call her Chewbacca and Han Solo.
Even though this is the one time they could get away with it without suing themselves because they own Star Wars and Marvel.
They own the damn copy.
I'm surprised with the amount of fucking Star Wars references in the Spider-Man shit. Let's do the AT-AT. Let's build the Death Star. If
they didn't own Star Wars, there's no way they would have gotten away with half that.
They did it because they own Star Wars, so I was surprised they didn't do that with Chewie. But I don't know, calling it Goose was alright by me. I didn't really care.
There was the little Top Gun reference, yay.
Yeah. There was not enough Pulp Fiction in there for me, so I don't know. But I mean,
I just think it's weird people who are saying the cat stole the show. I'm like, how? No, it didn't. Not. It was barely in the movie.
You know what stole the show? How good did Nick Fury look? I'm impressed by that de-aging.
God, they're getting that de-aging.
That's where all the budget went, man. That's where all the budget went.
They are getting that de-aging CGI down to a pat.
Oh fuck yeah, they did it really well.
Such a good job. He literally looked like he was straight out of the 90s.
I mean, Coulson looked brilliant as well. Like Coulson looked really good, and I don't just mean in terms of CGI.
I mean, if they'd slapped a pair of shitty early 90s glasses on him, or on Samuel L. Jackson, he literally looked the same way he did in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, for a 70-year-old, Jesus Christ.
I still can't believe he's that old. The man barely... If he still had hair, the man wouldn't age.
No, he wouldn't. And I think just de-aging him even more for the movie, holy shit. How old's he meant to be then in Captain Marvel? Like, he's not a fresh agent like Coulson was, but...
He's got to be high. He's got to be 40s because he said he'd been in the field for quite a while, and
which makes him 60 by the time fucking Endgame rolls around.
Well, look at him in real life. I can believe it.
Oh, I love that you dropped Budapest there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like named.
I think at this point that's just an ongoing joke. They're never going to do anything.
I don't want Black Widow to be a prequel anyway. So.
I don't want Black Widow to be a movie.
No, I don't. It's so weird because when Captain Marvel at the end came up to the Avengers and she was there with Black Widow and the others, I was like, it's just pointing out how much better of an actress Brie Larson is than Scarlett Johansson.
They're all better than Scarlett Johansson. That woman is a plank of wood with boobs and an ass.
Can I just say, Logan, because you were critical of what you thought Brie Larson would be like in terms of acting, right? Was that you, or was that someone else? Because I know there are a lot of people. Because I think she stood out.
Well, I think that, like, it's just like Black Panther, you know? Like, she's not bad, but, like...
Yeah, but Black Panther's different. Black Panther was badass in Civil War, and he was so downplayed and bland.
But, like, I just mean, like, you know, if we don't think about, like, how amazing he was in Civil War... You know, T'Challa, I like T'Challa. I think Chadwick Boseman's a good actor, but I feel like a lot of the other characters in the movie were better than him. You know, I thought M'Baku was better than him. I thought
is that how you felt with Captain Marvel then? Like the other ones outshined her?
I think there are people in the movie that outshined her. I think she's not a block of wood like a lot of people are still saying she was. No. She was
definitely
but like
not.
I don't really like her. I don't buy her voice.
So that's the thing I think though, is that you're not supposed to yet, because she was falling over in a lot of the action scenes. I don't think she's meant to be the hero yet. I think that's something she's going to build into, which, because a lot of people said, oh, she's already become on the level of Thor. No, she fucking hasn't. She was shooting laser beams and going flying into a wall. She has no idea what she's doing. That's why she didn't fight Yon-Rogg at the end. She would have lost if she put down the powers. She's not there yet. So I think it's one of those things where she's sort of meant to be like that in a way.
Yeah, but like, even if like they write it so that like she masters her powers and she's like the strongest, like if she still sounds the same, it's not even like, it's not like that she can't be, but like, you know, that she had her like cool moments, like, you know, her like badass moments, I guess you could say. And I was like, I don't buy it. Like, you know, it's like there's a really cool line in Infinity War, you know, when they fight the Black Order and Black Widow's like, you know, we don't want to kill you, but we will. I was like, yo, somebody who's actually impressive should have said that. But when Black Widow, who's like the weakest link, says it, I'm like, that's not intimidating. You know, if Captain America said that,
she did kill them.
Like, oh.
Kind of. But
don't remind me. That's all I mean. It's kind of just like, I don't buy her voice. I feel like I still hear that, like, I just, it's not impressive, and she doesn't have the kind of gravitas that, like...
See, I don't think she was ever meant to, though. I don't think she is a hero in the same way that Thor is, where he's, like, imposing in his attitude and his behavior. I think she's just there, like, cool. I'm accidentally fucking everything up, and I'm just gonna go along with the ride.
Yeah, but she's also like a warrior, though. Like it's like she's not. But she's also like.
As soon as her brainwashing was undone, I think that whole noble warrior hero thing, I think that just died.
Yeah, because it definitely once she removed her like inhibitor chip or restraining bolt, whatever the hell that thing was,
she became Carol Danvers.
Yeah, she really changed after that. And when she got her full memory back too, same thing. It just I'm with you. I really am. I definitely think she did. I never thought she was going to do a bad job. I mean, they chose her for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's like I told a lot of people, before we went in, trust Feige. He wouldn't have made this decision if it was the wrong decision. And the movie does have problems. Don't get me wrong. It's not. I wouldn't say it's in my top 5. It's maybe in somewhere around the middle, I'd say. But it's not. It's not awful. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's definitely, I think, better than most people. A lot of people thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I do attribute a lot of that to Brie Larson. I thought she was great as the role, and truth be told, I am excited to see more of her in the future as Captain Marvel. I really am.
That was the weird thing for me, and I think I was going in thinking I hate modern Captain Marvel comics. Brie Larson's such a provocative person in real life that I don't see her as a fun, energetic character. But then I went in and I could not get enough of Carol Danvers. Like, I left there wanting another movie, which I haven't felt that way about Marvel movies in a long time. So I left Black Panther disappointed. I left Ragnarok pissed off. I left Infinity War sad about Spider-Man. I mean, this one I left like, holy shit, get me more Danvers.
So let's see. I'm just going to read a few of these reviews, and I'm going to read some good ones, and I'm going to read some bad ones. And I just want to see what you guys think of. So, I mean, these are more like Psycho fans of the ones I'm reading, because it's like some of these you guys can be like, what the hell?
Yeah, go for it.
So, like, we got one here. 0 out of 5. I wish Brie Larson had stepped aside and let a woman of color take the lead role. White woman privilege is real, y'all.
Yeah, those people, I think, take her politics way too seriously.
Exactly. Let's see. Next one. 1 star. Brie Larson was horrible in this movie, and it pushed way too much of an agenda. Thanks, Marvel, for killing this. Get woke, go broke. See, I genuinely don't think that person even saw the movie.
I thought it didn't push enough of an agenda, and I genuinely believe that.
I didn't really feel one at all.
No,
I
was expecting subtones about like women being sort of treated lesser in the Air Force in the 90s, but none of that really got through.
What do you mean? That was like there were all those scenes about like all the male characters telling her that you know why it's called the cockpit, right?
Yeah, but that's just
all those are scenes about that. Though,
there wasn't just enough of that. There needed to be more of her overcoming that for me.
I feel like more than enough for me. I feel like she should have just.
Oh, I loved Agent Carter for that though. I would have loved more. Girl power.
So we got a 3.5 star review.
Oh yeah. Better
than I thought it would be. Even though not the best Marvel movie, it's still better than all the DC movies combined.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Always has to be that one asshole that brings up DC for no reason.
Yeah, my highest ranking DC Worlds movie at the moment is Aquaman, but I gave it the same rating. So for me, whatever. Dark Knight hasn't been topped by the MCU yet.
Right? Let's see, next one. We got a 5 star right here.
Go for it.
5 stars. Don't pay attention to the incels and sexists review bombing this movie. It's awesome. Go see it for yourself.
Everyone that dislikes the movie is a troll.
We got half a star. Utter garbage, like every Marvel movie.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Half a star. Boring. Thank you for enlightening me.
How were you bored?
Exactly. Half a star. I'll pass since I'm a man. Okay.
I loved how girl power it was.
Let's see.
That montage where she was standing up, it should have been cringe, but I loved it.
5 stars. This was a fun movie. Samuel L. Jackson character was very weedy in this chapter of the Marvel story.
What?
The acting was great. Lots of funny part. And yes, I read that word for word. I don't know what weedy means, but I can't think of what it might mean, but okay. 1.5 stars. One of the worst Marvel movies so far. It had more plot holes than I could keep track of. It tried to be funny several times, but always felt very forced. Brie Larson is the Kristen Stewart of the MCU. No emotion whatsoever. There was stuff that just seemed shoehorned into the movie.
Like what?
I couldn't disagree more with that one.
What was shoehorned in?
I don't understand that one at all.
You want to talk about shoehorned? Let's talk about Ragnarok humor.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Half a star. I don't need a toxic feminist preaching to my family. Bring on Wonder Woman 2 instead.
Oh no, Wonder Woman 2 sounds terrible. Fuck you.
Yeah, 5 stars. Aw, look at all the poor snowflakes and DC fans trying to bomb the audience score. Laugh my ass off. Nobody gives a crap about the audience score. Nice try, fangirls.
DC is... I'm a DC fan and I gave it a good score.
Oh, God.
I'm looking forward to Shazam. Leave me alone.
Exactly. Let's see. 5 stars. Fantastic movie. This one fits right in there on the top shelf with all the other Marvel classics.
Classics?
Wait, Marvel movies are classics now?
There's no classic Marvel movies yet, except Howard the Duck, which is a god amongst men.
Right.
And you're a Kree, a race of noble warriors.
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.